In this last video, we're going to be looking at using a formula to find probability of A and B. Because again, we're looking at that the probability of A or B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A or B. A and B. So we can use this formula to actually find the probability of A and B by plugging in the or and the probability of each of them. So number one says out of 200 students in a senior class, 113 students are either varsity athletes or on the honor roll. There are 74 seniors who are varsity athletes and 51 seniors who are on the honor roll. What is the probability that a randomly selected senior is both a varsity athlete and on the honor roll? Okay. So I see we're given a lot of information here. So first, something I noticed, it says it's out of 200 students. So that means that this is my total. And I'm given three different pieces of information. First, I'm given that the probability that they're either on varsity or honor roll is 113. That's number of students. 74 are varsity and 51 are on honor roll. So I'm going to first just label my events. I'm going to have A, B, that the student is a varsity athlete, and B, that the student is on honor roll. And now I'm just going to know what my different probabilities are. So probability of A, the probability that the student is a varsity athlete, I say is going to be out of 200 because there's 200 students in total. And I say the number who are varsity athletes is 74. So this is going to be 74 out of 200. And I see that the probability of B, I have 51 seniors who are on honor roll out of 200. And then probability of A or B is going to be 113 students are on either or of those. So 113 out of 200. And now I'm going to go ahead and plug all of that information into my formula here. So probability A or B is 113 over 200. It's equal to probability of A, which is 74 over 200, plus probability of B, which is 51 over 200, minus the probability of A and B. And so I want to solve this for probability of A and B. And so what I can do is I can add probability of A and B on both sides, so that it's over on the left-hand side. And then I can subtract this 113 over 200 to the other side. So essentially they just switch places. So I have 74 over 200 plus 51 over 200 minus 113 over 200. And when I do that, I get that the probability of A and B is equal to 12 over 200. So that means the probability of A and B is equal to 0.06. So there's a 6% chance that a randomly selected student is both a varsity athlete and on the honor roll. Okay, let's look at one last one. This one says a group of 40 trees in a forest are not growing properly. So automatically I see that's going to be my total is 40. A botanist determines that 34 of the trees have a disease or are being damaged by insects, with 18 trees having disease and 20 being damaged by insects. What is the probability that a randomly selected tree has both the disease and is being damaged by insects? Okay, so I have two events here. First, we have the event that the tree has a disease, and the other one is that it's damaged by insects. Now I want to find the probability that a tree has both of these problems. So this is going to be an and. So I need to figure out probability of A, probability of B, and probability of A or B. Well, I know for all of these it's going to be out of 40 because that is my total number of trees that we're looking at. So I need to find the number in each event. So for event A, damaged by a disease, I see that 18 trees have the disease. So this is going to be 18 out of 40. And then damaged by insects, I see that 20 are damaged by insects. And then for either or, it says that 34 of the trees have a disease or are being damaged by insects. So now I can go ahead and write my formula. So probability of A or B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A and B. Plugging in for my information, I have 34 out of 40 is equal to 18 over 40 plus 20 over 40 minus the probability of A and B. Solving this for probability of A and B, I get that probability of A and B is equal to 18 over 40 plus 20 over 40 minus 34 out of 40. So when I do 18 plus 20, I get 38. 38 minus 34, I get 4 out of 40. And so that means the probability of A and B is equal to 0.1. So that means that there's a 10% chance that randomly selected tree has both a disease and is being damaged by insects.